Three. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with GEC NASCAR. We're going to be out here at Sonoma. This is going to be an amazing race for the Down and Out 120. All right, we have up in the booth right now Austin Swanson and myself. We do expect a special guest to be coming up here in a little while, but we will get to that as soon as we get to that. How we doing tonight, Austin?
I'm doing great. Road course is always my favorite week because I don't really have to do much. It's one of the few times that I get to be a part of the broadcast a little bit more than I normally am, as the only cautions thrown are the stages. So I'm excited. I've heard a lot of great things about this track. I know we have a new driver out here tonight who's definitely going to shake up the competition, but alongside some of our veteran drivers and drivers who have been here all season long so far, we're definitely putting down some really fast times out there. So I got a feeling we're going to see some very hot driving.
No, I expect the same, absolutely. Coming into the first road course for the season for the Cup Series, obviously we've seen what happened last night at the Truck Series. It went really, really well, actually. The race went off without a hitch, and all those guys had an amazing time. There was a little bit of contact towards the end of the race that took it away from Wilson, but honestly, to tell you the truth, he led most of that. He should have been able to take that home, but just unfortunate event right there at the end. Well, as we come out to this race, we have 60 laps. You want to go ahead and let us know what our stages are tonight, Mr. Austin?
Absolutely. Stages are going to be at 15 and 30. So we're going to have a 30-lap final all the way to the checkered flag.
All right. That doesn't sound bad to me. I don't know about anybody else, but getting these guys regrouped back out on the track and making sure that... a little spin out by Dustin Haynes right there. But, yeah, getting them all back out onto the track and seeing how much competition we can get racked up on those restarts. Some of those restarts are going to be, some of the worst, trying to get down to those turns, down to that first turn without making any contact. But in all honesty, that's going to make them better at what they do. So hopefully we get to see some of that tonight. As it sits right now, A. Brown coming out in the number 18, putting down a blistering lap of 1:15.58. But Bryce Fontaine's right there behind him. He has put down another fast time in that 12 a little bit of contact between BDR and Kunin right there. But Bryce Fontaine out there in that 12 Eternal vehicle trying to get as much time out of the track as he possibly can. Definitely just ran his fastest lap a moment ago. We're looking forward to seeing what kind of competition can come out of those two. Cochran right there as well. He's going to be in third place for the practice time. Kunin, Harris, Kern, Lawns, Hanneman, Barrow, and Osborne topping out the top 10. So a lot of competition in that top 10, Austin.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of competition. And like I said, new driver out here with, from what we've seen, the I rating is good and the times are good. And we have had our very own Bryce in the 12 car talking up a storm. I know he has been practicing. He has experience on these road courses, and it's showing up in his practice times as well, sitting in that second place position.
Well, a lot of the drivers were worried about this course. There's nothing to worry about. No disqualifications for this, no TPS points, no cautions. So they're just going to get to come out and just run a race and run their own race, Just, if you got to, separate yourself away from people and just get out there and do the best you can. Being consistent, anyway. Let's go ahead and take a look at last week's race. Race winner Thomas Kunin going out there, punching his ticket, I believe, for the first time this season at Las Vegas. They did a great job out there. He took home 58 points. Caleb Ellswick is going to be the runner-up on that one in second place. Great finish for him. He was looking forward to that. Did an amazing job for himself. So Caleb, congratulations on that, buddy. Then we got Tommy. Oh man, I can never get his name right. I'm gonna say
Tommy K.
Connie K or Tommy K. There we go. Yeah, that'll work for me. But he's gonna take up that third place at Vegas last week with taking home 45 points. Actually, looks like he got a couple bonus points, but looked like we didn't have a whole lot of penalties out at that race, so they did a really good job of keeping it all out on the track. They're going to be lining up for qualifying here in a moment. Looks like we do have some drivers already out onto the track. Let's go ahead and see what's going on out there. It's going to take a second for those guys to get around the track. So as we're watching for that, Austin, let's go ahead and take a look back at the driver standings for this season. Do you want to go over the driver standings for us?
Yeah, absolutely. I can take a look at the driver standings. Let me pull those up on my end here. Ba-bam. Ba-bam. Beautiful. All right, so locked into the playoffs so far on wins. We have Bryce Fontaine, Thomas Coonan, and Lynch. Fontaine with 2 wins. Coonan and Lynch both with 1. But all 3 locked into the playoffs thus far. Currently into the playoffs on points. Yes, we are only on race 5, but at least your 4 through 10 spots. Tommy K, William Kern, Joseph Barrow, Kenneth Gallman, Caleb Ellswick, Klaus Brahm, and Mason Tomlinson filling out that final position. Those are going to be your current possible playoffs based on points. With the rest of the drivers currently out of the playoff running, but as stated, plenty of time to go through. Harris sitting in 11th, Cochran in 12th, and Elliott looks like tied with him actually for 12th. Ashley in 14th, Haynes in 15th, Barr in 16th, Sprouse in 17th, Bombard in 18th, Campbell tied for 18th with also Menchaca. Look at that. Down to 21st, Jordan Marion, Whitehead in 22nd, Yancey in 23rd, Scotty Yancey to be specific, Cheshire in 24th, Aaron Yancey in 25th, Openchowski in 26th, Culleton 27th, Hill also tied for 27th, Loans in 29th, McMillan Jr. in 30th, Osborne 31st, Wilson 32nd, and Trudeau in 33rd to round out the standings so far.
Thank you so much, Austin. As these guys are starting to get around for these first laps, looks like Bryce Fontaine's going to go ahead and take that first time for that top spot, followed up by Harris, Barrow, and Barr. Hanneman now jumping up into 3rd. We also have a special guest up in the booth, Lister. Lister, how we doing tonight?
I'm pretty good. How about yourself, Mr. Griffin?
We're getting there. We just went over the point standings in last week's race. So much competition out on the track. A lot of new competition out on the track. With Brown coming in, looks like he's going to go ahead and take that spot away from Bryce Fontaine for the first position.
Yeah, I was watching his qualifying. He seems to be a pretty fast runner around this track. I'd say he'd be a force to reckon with tonight.
Well, it looks like they're starting to round out of the top 5 right now. Brown, Fontaine, Harris, Hanneman, and Barrow. Barrow going out and stealing that top 5 right there. Oh, ooh. Joseph Barrow's looking good in that BDRN, that green and black. He's getting a little loose right there. He's able to recover that and get around that corner.
Fontaine able to take pole position by 0.03 seconds.
No way.
That's going to be a close race right there.
Yeah, it is. I got a lot of energy into that top runners, right? Dude, they're going to wind up running so hard next to each other. It's going to make for a really good race. Especially being that close. I know we know Fontaine can handle his own, so with him taking pole position here, that gives him the point and the advantage on the restart.
Looks like they're getting ready now to go racing and grid up.
All right, they are getting ready out there.
Good, sir. We advanced the session at 5 minutes.
Looks like these drivers are on the track. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means. We will see you in a moment after our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And off they go to start the gridding.
These guys are now restarted for this green flag here. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. This is going to be a good road course for these guys to learn what each other's capable of. Man, they are looking good out there.
I know there's a good couple that don't really run road course, so they might not be used to turning right.
Oh, absolutely. I think we're going to see some amazing racing.
Question's going to be, can Fountain get that start on Brown tonight?
Well, as long as they don't make contact, I'm pretty sure they're going to get a little bit of distance between each other, which is great. 27 racers tonight, guys.
Ooh. Looks like one driver did not make it to the grid, the 99 of D. Culleton. Seems he had an early night.
Alright, guys, here we go. We're about to go green flag. Green flag is out. 12 diving down in. 18 just touching him a little bit right there on that right rear quarter panel. Oh, Fontaine out into the grass. He's going to recover, and then 18's still going to maintain right behind him. Good job on saving that, guys. They're going to knock the cobwebs off with these fresh tires, man, and then I think they're really going to get to racing.
Looks like the pack's already splitting up with the leaders taking a early lead, and then the middle of the pack, and then the rear's falling behind, it looks like.
Yeah, all the way. So it's looking like all the way back to 14th place is almost an 8-second gap from our leaders right now. That just goes to show how much separation is caused by these road courses. Everybody's taking these turns differently. 18 right up on the back of the 12 right there, looking to take that lead away. He's probably gonna, it looks like he's calming down a little bit. He's just gonna run his own race for now. We'll see what happens, develops in that in a moment. 3 in the 54 coming around. Chad, Ashley, and Haynes battling it out for 9th place. Oh, 89 locks him up coming around the corner right there. He's Brad Wilson. He's going to get back out onto the track.
Well, it looks like the number 3 locked up his wheels as well a little bit, letting that Kern in the 31 get by him.
41. Oh, he hit that curb right there. Looks like he locked up a little coming into that turn, but that's all right. 3. He's going to be on the inside of that 31. William Kern taking that spot away. Dustin Haynes. A lot of great racing so far. These guys are doing awesome.
Looks like Brown took the lead away from our Fontaine.
We didn't even get to see it. That's okay.
Fontaine's getting right up on Brown.
Yeah, he's not letting him go anywhere. He doesn't want to lose any of the time, but it looks like he's just trying to push too hard. He's getting loose coming out of the turn. He's going to need to gain that time back a little bit. Just be patient. Brown into the grass on both of those turns. Fontaine able to get a little bit more time back. Oh. We have a crash. Scott Yancey we'll take a look at real quick. I don't see anything. Oh, he dived into... Okay, yeah. He just came into that corner way too hot, unfortunately. Looks like he jumped to the pit. It's alright, here we go. Back to the front of the pack. 18 still up in front of that 12, but 12 is not letting him go anywhere.
Fontaine had him for a minute there, and then Brown got that lead back right from him.
As Fontaine searches for that time to get back up in front of Brown there, we'll go ahead and take a look and see what's going on towards the back. Dustin Haynes in that 9th position with the 54 pushing up behind him. Chad Ashley. Oh, and as we cut to Caleb Ellswick, he just got passed by 2 vehicles. Hopefully he can get back up in front of them. He's going to be sitting back in that 15th spot.
Fontaine going off the track a little bit. Seems to be running. It's still too hard for this early in the race for Fontaine to be able to take advantage.
As we didn't do it yet, we'll go ahead and do our normal segment of Who's Your Pick? Oh, hold on. Lock up with the 29, and it looked like the 66 as well. Caleb Ellswick locking up going into that turn. Some people are just coming out here and just surviving. But back to it, we'll go ahead and do our normal segment of Who's Your Pick? Austin, who you got for tonight?
Oh, that's going to be a tough one. We got plenty of fast drivers out there. Even with the new competition, I'm actually going to go for the favorite pick. I'm going to go for the 12 car, Fontaine, with the amount of practice he's put in, the amount of great laps we've seen between the practice and so far, even in this race. I'm going to have to give it to him.
Well, Fontaine's got the experience to make it out front and win a race. We already know that. Already winning 2 races out of the season for only 5 races in. This is our 5th race now. So he, up to this point, he's won half the races that we've actually had open for the Cup Series. Great driver and good pick. All right, Lister, who you got for tonight?
Just to go against Austin there with his pick of Fontaine, I'm going to either go with Brown. He seems to be a pretty fast driver against Fontaine. Or I'm thinking the number 3 of Dusty Haynes might actually be able to get a good run eventually and work the track good to get that lead somehow.
Well, you're going to have to pick one or the other. Can't
In
have
that
two
case,
picks.
I'm going with Brown.
Fair enough. As we always love to see Dusty Haynes up in the front, man. Hopefully he can definitely make that good run like we're saying, but it just looks like 18 is going to have a dominant run here tonight on this road course. I'm thinking he's been here a couple times. What do you guys think?
He's showing like he's had enough practice. He might have came out here a week prior and just spent a whole night in his hauler.
Well, you're not wrong, and I'll tell you, Fontaine, one of our faster drivers, is losing a little bit of time, but still maintaining right there. Woo! As he cut it close to that corner, man, that was crazy close. As we cut back over, we're now with Dustin Haynes himself right behind Lynch. He's got the 31 right behind him with William Kern as well. These guys are pushing into those turns right there.
Lynch seems to be holding off Haynes a little bit as he gets loose in that turn right there, trying to catch up to him.
Hanneman now starting to catch up a little bit, starting after the green flag. He came out of pits. Looks like he had missed that green flag. That's all right. It looks like he's catching back up now. Oh, Hanneman locking him up right there behind the 41.
Ooh,
Klaus
Sprouse
Braun.
making a risky move coming back on the track right in front of Osborne there.
These guys
Gallman's
are-
trying to
Go ahead.
Gallman's trying to make a move here. It looks like on the 48 back in P17 and 18, trying to get that speed on him.
Go ahead and take a look. Cheshire right there up in front of him. Gallman, as we know, is a very talented short track driver. I haven't really seen a lot of him from road courses, but it looks like he's doing fairly well for himself. Looks like Scott Yancey is in the pits as well. I'm actually curious of what their pit window would be.
With how these drivers are, some of these drivers are doing it, I'd say their pit might be actually pretty sooner than we would think.
Yeah, with only 50% fuel, I can't imagine they're going to get a whole lot of laps out there. I'm thinking like 20 maybe. When did you say the first stage was, Austin?
15.
15?
Peter's already putting people down a lap as we have Fontaine just passed the number 32 of Menchaca.
We have Brown now 3.4 seconds and 3.5 seconds ahead of second place of Fontaine, trying to catch back up. We're going to re-rack them at the stage, so there's not a whole lot to be pushing super hard for, but again, you definitely want to close that gap up a little bit. Fontaine doing a great job of that. Because Fontaine himself is actually, what, 7 seconds in front of third place of Justin Harris. So Brown and Fontaine are out there just wrapping the field. As we're with the 48 at Cheshire right now, let's go ahead and ride along inside the cockpit, see what he's seeing. These road courses are pretty intense.
Oh, we have a spin on the track.
Caleb Ellswick. Let's go take a look. Looks like Ellswick was able to maintain.
Yeah, it looks like he's back out now.
Oh no, yeah, he hit that bumper right there.
That was a pretty hard spin, too, right in front of someone.
It didn't look like he lost but one position on that. Getting right back going again. Good for him, man. Alright, as we ride back with Cheshire again. Oh, he gets into that dirt a little bit right there, but that's alright. He's going to be able to get back out and try to chase Jason Bombard down. Go ahead and ride around with Shane Cochran for a minute, see what he sees. He's going to be about 17 seconds back from our leaders. Great road course driver. Very good endurance driver. So I expect to see him back up towards the front late game, taking everybody by surprise like he normally does.
Looks like Caleb Ashley's trying to make something happen on Hanneman here. But he just overdrove it in that turn, letting Hanneman get away from him.
Shout out from Tosh. Let's go Raymond and Aiden. Let's go 54. All in all, these guys are doing an extremely good job of making a hell of a race of it. I'll tell you that. As we're in lap 12.
They're doing a great job. Absolutely. We do have some radio chatter starting to come through, though. It looks like the 29 holding up both the 48 and the 71. And as much as I know the 48 and the 71 want some sort of intervention, unfortunately, the 29 is on the same lap and on lead lap, mind you, as those other two cars are as well. So he has every right to block them off and not let them pass. However, I will say their times are definitely not necessarily the closest. The two behind running faster laps trying to get past.
Well, and at what point do you not say it's worth it to do any kind of intervention of blocking somebody that's faster than you, right? You don't. The last thing you want to do is A, cause somebody else's race, but B, cause damage to your own car.
Correct. Absolutely. But especially if you are not a lap down, there is not necessarily a reason for you to get out of the way, especially if you don't have any damage. 48 car looking to make a move now on the 29. 29 really holding them off.
71 right up behind the 48, almost touches the back of Gallman. Oh, oh. 48 hits that bumper that Ellswick hit last time. Almost gets loose right there. Oh, and there it
Looks
is.
like
48 just got loose, locks him up, coming around. Gallman's going to go ahead and take that pass.
Looks like we got a couple of early pitters. The 89 of Brad Wilson coming in on lap. I believe it's 13 or 14 now. Might be trying to get that early pit on the leaders to be able to go back out there.
Hey, that could be smart, man. I'm not going to lie. Looks like Menchaca is in the pits as well. He's been in there for a little minute.
Oh,
Just got word the Osborne car has now left the track. Seems like they were having a little bit of car issues tonight and decided to pack up and leave early.
You said T. Osborne are the number one?
Yes, sir.
Unfortunate. You'd hate to see that. '85 shooting on the inside of Lynch. 33 right there coming around those turns. We got a bunch of drivers now pitting.
17. Submit a review on that one for me, please.
Here we go. 14 laps. Hanneman passing Lynch right there. Lynch slowing down.
I'm hearing a radio chatter going on saying now that we're almost 15 laps in, a lot of drivers are having problems with their tires, making their cars slip everywhere, causing that trouble getting off the track and spin outs.
Hopefully they're able to maintain and get in there and make some safe pits, get back out for that. But it looks like here crossing the finish line for our leader, Bryce Fontaine, we're going to go ahead. Bryce Fontaine took the lead. I didn't even realize that. But as he takes the lead, the flag is going to come out here as he crosses that finish line for our first stage.
A surprise re-entry. T. Osborne in the number one has just re-entered the track now, it appears.
Well, in that, considering he may get a technical wave around for that. Here we go, Fontaine battling it out. He's about to catch right up to the back of Cheshire right there in that 48. Cheshire looks like he may have already pitted, but Fontaine looks like he's going to be a little bit faster.
Oh, big wreck with the number 18 of Brown.
Let's go
Looks
take
like
a
he
look.
got loose.
That is not great. He already got into a wreck coming into pit lane as well, so that is not a hot start to the night.
A lot of smoke coming out of that car. He potentially could have blown his engine.
Oh, man, that was a... He did. He definitely blew his engine. He had to tow out.
Worst part is pace car just came out right after that happened.
Well, and that may save him a little bit because now all the cars are going to be slowed down while he's towed in and uses that fast repair. So that might have worked out to his advantage. Ah, you hate to see that for Brown, man. That sucks. First race out here at GEC. Just underestimated that corner.
Looks like we got Hanneman in P10 for the first stage, rounding off those stage points, I believe, if they do those here like the truck series.
Do we know if Hanneman pitted during that stage cycle?
I can take a look for you. Let's see. It appears he potentially may not have.
let's go ahead and see if we can get a driver up here for an interview real quick. Let's go ahead and bring up Brown and see what he's got to say about what happened. As we have Brown of the 18 up in the booth. Brown, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, buddy. Obviously, we've seen what happened, man. Tragedy strikes in that corner. Just what's going through your mind? What happened?
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, I don't understand why it's only the next gen that I feel like has this problem, but they just went outside, I forgot who that was, just trying to pass him, just normal pass, and all of a sudden it just snapped on me, so I had no idea why it did that, but it just snapped on me. I tried to quickly correct it, but knowing how snappy this car is, it just went straight into the barrier, and I already used my fast repair, so it kind of unfortunate. I just used my fast repair because some lap car was just going really slow. On pit entry, just thought I think he thought the pit cone was started at the barrier there in the entry of the hairpin, but it doesn't start until you get out of the hairpin, just on the very outside. So he's just really slow there, and car behind him hit him, and then they pretty much came to a big stop, and I was just coming in normal speed. I just didn't expect him, so that used my fast repair early. I was just trying to flip the stage, and then yeah, that happened there right at the end of the stage. So just unfortunate, but it was definitely a fun race while I was out there.
You were doing a great job putting down some dominating times. These guys couldn't keep up. Out there in the front for a while, took that early pit to beat the stage. Coming back out, just an unfortunate event going into the pits, making some contact, and then that unfortunate snap back with the wall. But man, it looks like even if that's the case, you still might have a good chance to get back out and put down some competition.
Yeah, we'll go see. Hopefully I'm not sure if I can make another race this season, but I know Thomas wanted me to come out and race tonight, so I did. But unfortunately, I just couldn't race the whole race, mainly because of that. But all good though. We'll pack it up and we'll come back some other time if I can.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to it, and thank you so much for coming out. We're always excited to see you on the track.
Yep, thank you.
All right, and that's the 18 of A. Brown. Just an unfortunate night tonight for him. Hanneman is going to go ahead and take the lead on this with Bryce Fontaine right next to him. Teammates in the internal racing starting side by side.
Following behind him, looks like they got let's see, Harris and Kunin start. I don't know if I said his last name right, but the 7 of Harris and 23 of Kunin starting behind them. Could potentially be a good for them, or it could end up going the opposite way of their hope.
Well, there has been a little bit of heat in the past with the 23, the 85, and the 12. So hopefully this restart doesn't reflect anything like that. And we can get back to green flag racing here at Sonoma for the down and out 120. Pace car is going to be off the track, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to go green flag back here at Sonoma. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of competition sitting out front. Here we go. Green flag is out. Looks like the 12 gets a little bit of a jump with Kunin behind him. 85 right there underneath in that Ford Mustang. I think he told me earlier that is the only Ford Mustang on the track tonight. But it looks like Kunin's going to go ahead and slip it right there in front of Hanneman. Right behind Bryce Fontaine. Fontaine getting a little bit of a distance on those guys. 0.7 up in front now. Apparently Brian says the 54 is a jive turkey. As these guys are coming around, man, so many cars out on the track, and they're just doing a great job of racing next to each other.
One thing's for sure, we got Coonan.
Hanneman out in the middle of that hairpin right there, where he's around, falling back, now in 11th place. Sorry, go ahead.
That's a little tough luck for him, but looks like we got the Coonan in second place, but he's got the Fontaine in front of him, along with Harris behind him. I believe you were saying these two are teammates, so that could be a little bit interesting having teammates both. And actually, Harris took it from the other internal driver. That just shows looking away for 1 second can really make a difference from these cars.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Kuhn is right up behind Bryce Fontaine, not letting him go anywhere.
Hanneman making moves back up as he passes Elliott. Unfortunately, that is not a position for him, though.
Elliott, one of those lapped cars, but that's all right. Hanneman's going to go ahead and get around that, and then he's going to be stuck behind that 29 for right now, Jason Bombard. Ah, 29 getting a little loose right in front of Lynch right there. Lynch able to maintain. Fontaine just not able to create that gap he was expecting with Coonan right there behind him. 1 and 2 are going to be 4 seconds ahead of Justin Harris in third place. Justin Harris poking his head up into the top 5 for the first time tonight. And then we got Jay Barr and Cochran right there. Cochran, like I said, good road course driver, good endurance driver. He has a strong chance as well.
Looks like him and Barr were battling side by side there, and Cochran was able to take it from him for that P4 position.
Hanneman down into the pits. Not sure what's going on there. Does look like he's changing tires. Let's see if he's going to come back out. And he does. Some kind of pit strategy from Hanneman right there.
Although that did cause him some positions, I believe he might actually, that tire change might actually end up saving him later on down the road when everyone else is getting loose.
And it looks like the 1 has went off as well of Tommy Osborne. And hear those tires on the 23 and the 12 just stressing out as they come around those corners.
Coonan looking like he got a little bit loose there, trying to close that gap with Fontaine, but it's he seems to manage and hold that 1 second gap between them.
Jay Barr running that 5th spot in the 94. Doing a great job, but it still looks like he's about 9 seconds away from our front runner of Bryce Fontaine at the moment. Looks like we might have had an incident with the number 3 of Haynes. Let's go check him out real quick. Something must have happened, but I don't see any damage on that number 3. So he's going to keep it back up and running.
It actually looks...
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Nope, you're good.
It actually looks like Haynes actually has some left front damage to that fender and his bumper a little bit there. That could dramatically affect his aerodynamics here.
I didn't even actually see it.
Yeah, I had to look at the rear cam that we have for these cars to be able to see that.
Bryce Fontaine, Coonan coming around those turns, curb right now. Going into turn 7. Coonan losing a little bit of time to Fontaine there. Coonan now about 2.3 seconds back. Not a whole lot going on. These drivers are pretty much separated. They're out there running their own race. We're going to have another caution here in 4 more laps to end our second stage. And then we're going into the third and final stage with 30 laps of green flag racing.
I think it's safe to say Alex here did his homework on Fontaine, because Fontaine's been able to open that gap between him and Coonan by 2.7 seconds now.
Well, we know Fontaine has a lot of skill, and he's able to just find those lines that nobody else can find. He ran the fastest lap up in practice up until Brown came in. So we were sort of expecting him to be up towards the front, but now he's putting on a he's putting on a dominating race, and we look forward to see where he finishes.
Only question is, how long can he keep that gap up? As we had Coonan here held up by the 11 a little bit there, a lapped car at that, allowing that gap to increase.
Mind you, Coonan, our biggest gainer for today, he's up 15 spots from where he started.
Sprouse just came into the pits. Looks like he's taking an early tire change.
Bryce Fontaine is now 5 seconds ahead of second place of Thomas Coonan. But we're going to go ahead and re-rack him after 2 laps. Hanneman dropping back to 15th place after another incident back there, unfortunately. We didn't actually get to see it, but Menchaca as well having an incident of his own. Looks like Hanneman now in 15th place, right up behind Thomas Coonan. Looks like he was just lapped by our leaders. Hanneman being that first lap car down, he's going to be able to get that lap back here as soon as this flag comes out. Looks like the 94 had a little bit of damage on that front left fender there. As we come along with Coonan, he's got that 85 right behind him, and Chaka goes off track. A little bit of smoke coming off the 23 right there, coming out of that dirt.
I don't know if I'm hearing things, but it sounds like we got the 32 of Menchaca cheering everyone to go on by him.
He might be having some technical issues. We did see he went off the track a few times, but that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be stage 2 here at Sonoma for the Down and Out 120. Your stage winner is going to be Bryce Fontaine, followed up by Thomas Coonan, Cochran, Harris, Kern, Lawns, Barr, Barrow, Lynch, and Ashley. Those are your drivers that are going to go ahead and get stage points but the one getting the most today is going to be Bryce Fontaine. As we're under caution again tonight, we're going to go ahead and pull up our stage winner for a chat. As we have Bryce up in the booth with us now. 12, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hello, hello. Obviously not the race you expected tonight, but being out front in front of Mr. Brown that put down a fast time. He had an unfortunate incident that took him into the wall after that pit stop. That gives you the opportunity to take this one home. What's going through your head?
Yep, just got to put the race together. You know, I saw his times in practice. I knew he had a quick lap, but putting a race together is something totally different. So we're just going to try to keep it clean, keep it out front, see what we can do, and hopefully we'll be there at the end when it matters. Well,
as we've seen you out there when it matters the most plenty of times in the last couple seasons, we don't expect you to fall apart here anytime soon.
I hope not. I hope the caster's jinx doesn't come to get and bite me here. But yeah, Coonan's he's putting the pressure on behind me too. So, you know, we'll see. We got a strategy in play here. Hopefully it works out. And like I said, biggest thing here is just going to be staying out of trouble. And so far we've been able to do that. But a lot of race left here before this thing is over and said and done with. So we'll see what happens.
Well, it looks like after a few laps you were able to maintain a good little cushion and able to, I'm sure, calm down a little bit. Then you managed to make 5 seconds on Coonan. He got up into that lap traffic. So, again, yes, there is going to be competition there, but it looks like after a few laps you were able to maintain a good distance.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I didn't take tires at the end of that stage. I don't know if Coonan did as well, but if he took tires there and I didn't and I was able to pull that gap, I think we'll be in a good spot here.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing it as always, Bryce, and go out there and have a blast.
Thank you, Griffin. I appreciate it. Hope to see you guys here shortly.
Absolutely. We look forward to it. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting you back down there.
All good.
Hold on 1 second. I'll get you there. All right, guys. So that was the number 12. Thank him for coming up and talking to us after that stage win there. He's going to be, looks like, the favorite for tonight. And I believe that's one of your guys' picks, yeah?
Yeah, I think, is it too late to change mine? Because I definitely will.
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
I'm going to be honest, I ain't picking Fontaine. I'm going to go with Coonan now.
Coonan putting a lot of pressure on the back of Fontaine, and Fontaine sort of expecting a little bit of a jinx, you know, bringing him up for an interview. Hopefully that doesn't happen to him. But as we seen last night at Tuesday night's road course for the trucks, Wilson wound up running 40 some laps and leading all those laps, and you know, almost, I think it was like 6 laps to go. Lap car wound up turning around and collected him and a couple other cars, a couple other trucks. So you never know. You just never know. It's racing. Doesn't matter how fast you think you are, but anything could happen up in front of you.
Yeah, that Lime Rock race, that was sure a eye-opener, I think, for a lot of these drivers that were in there.
Yeah, we did. I think we had a couple Cup drivers in there. I believe altogether there was 31 drivers in that race. Tonight, almost equivalent with 27 drivers. That's amazing to see this much of a turnout to a road course. Obviously, not everybody wants to run, road courses. They're not used to it. There was a lot of concern and reservation behind it, but these guys are coming out here, putting down a hell of an effort and just giving us a great show. As we got a restart here, guys, Bryce Fontaine is going to go ahead and lead us back off for our restart here. Thomas Coonan following up. Harris, Cochran, Kern is going to lead out our top 5. Looks like a few of the top drivers did come down for pitting just a few seconds ago. Looks like everybody's racing with a lot of respect tonight as well. The lights are going to be off that Porsche pace car. We're about to get back green flag racing here, ladies and gentlemen. Sonoma for the down and out 120. Brace Fontaine up front. Coonan going to follow him up right on that outside. A lot of dust and dirt flying up as those guys cross over those dirt lanes. Here we go, pace cars diving off the track now. 12, 23 about to battle it out here for the restart. 23 hanging on pretty good right there in the beginning. Here we go. Green flag. Fontaine touching that wall right there, but he's still... Oh, Fontaine goes around! Coonan around! Out into the... Oh, you'd hate to see that. Coonan's still around on the track in front of Cochran, that looks like. No, the 98 of Aaron Yancey. Not what you want to see for our front two runners. That's going to drop them back a little bit. William Kern now taking the lead in that 31. Oh, man, and there's no way to get that back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just got to race it back. You got to get back up there the hard way.
And that sucks. Halfway through this race with only, it looks like 25 laps to go. They need to hope they can make something work here.
Do you think he's going to blame it on me? Do you think he's going to blame it on the curse, huh?
I think he's going to say that there was definitely some jinxing going on there.
That's not even fair. I just can't do interviews anymore, apparently. No more. We're done. That's insane. Right after he gets out of the booth with me, he spins out for the first time tonight. That's not even fair to me. But as we get back up and running again, 86 of Shane Cochran is now going to be taking that 10th spot away. Chad Ashley of the 54. Looks like the 54 was battling a little bit right there.
Here's something I don't think a lot of people were expecting. Jay Barrow running second place with Wesley Lynch behind him in third.
Barrow is a great driver, man. He's really good at road courses. He catches on towards the middle, and this is about his shining time, man. He's about to start laying down some pretty hot laps. He wants to get up there and make sure that he tries to secure his position as much as possible. Lynch being a good driver as well. They're all racing endurance races, and I'll tell you, road courses they're not shy to road courses at all. Barrow running for second place, man, for the first time this season. He's up there. Love to see that number 4 up there. Two-time champion from GEC's first season. Just coming out and putting on dominating races in the beginning of his career. Looking to end his dry spout.
Ellswick looking like he's a driver with a mission, passing Loans. I think that's how you say it. Loans for that 4th place. Loans.
Yeah. As you say that, he locks him up right there in front of the 97. Gets back out on track again before anything crazy happens. 23 and 54 split Ellswick. 97 off the track. after that little incident. 66 and 23 make a little bit of contact right there. Contact again coming into that turn. Over the bumper, Ellswick goes. Here we go, dragging it out through the back.
Ooh. I just don't think we can compliment drivers anymore at this rate now that they're jinxing.
Ellswick locks up again. Hate to see that. He's just going to have to calm down a little bit. Fontaine. Go ahead.
I was going to say, looks like Ashley in the 54 letting Coonan take that 5th place to get back up there.
It's Coonan and Fontaine are trying to race their way back up front again. They're going to have a nice little run in front of them because they're about 3 seconds behind our leader of Jay Barr. Jay Barr out there leading some laps for the first time in this season, I think. He's not going to want to give that up either. But as it sits right now, Fontaine and Coonan are now 5 seconds back for 6 seconds back for Fontaine and 9 seconds back for Coonan. '94 Jay Barr enjoying his little clean air he's got out there because he's going to be even 4 seconds in front of Barrow. All he's got to do is just run his race. 23 laps to go here at Sonoma.
Now this will be an interesting battle here for between Wesley Lynch and Bryce Fontaine for that 4th place position, as Fontaine's right on his bumper.
Well, Lynch is not going to want to let him go anywhere to catch up to his teammate, the number 4. Lynch is going to try to protect the number 4, but unfortunately Fontaine gets down around him on that bottom slide. He's going to be chasing down Barrow as we speak. Coonan still back there in 5th place trying to catch up to Lynch. Barr is not playing around as he is now 6 seconds ahead of Bryce Fontaine, which just took 2nd place from Barrow. Lynch going to be right there next to Barrow, looking on the inside. Barrow's going to have to pick up the pace a little bit if he wants to maintain that podium. Barrow off the track a little bit right there. He's going to lose a little bit of time, but he's going to keep it back going. Good job. 7 and 66 are also going to be battling it out back there for 7th place. As the 54 is starting to approach those guys, we could see a battle right there. 54 locks up a little bit, gets loose. 85 right there. 85 gets spun around the corner right there. He's going to come back out onto the track like nothing happened. Good job by the 85.
Well, I hate to tell you, Barrow's top 3 looks like it was a short-lived time, with Coonan now taking 3rd away from him.
He's just looking to secure whatever he can at this moment. Coonan and Fontaine making their way back up front, trying to catch Jay Barr. Jay Barr now only 4.9 seconds ahead. They're cutting down that lead. They've run out of lap cars, so they have an unimpeded, gap to the front leader. So let's see what happens. 71 jumps that ramp right there. It has to slow up a little bit. 41 and 11 on the inside right there. $20 laps to go. Looks like Aaron Yancey had locked him up right there. I was just coming to take a look and see what happened. Looks like he's back on it again. Good for him. These guys are fighting for every point that they can possibly get. Hanneman now back up in 10th. Looks like Marion and Gallman back there fighting it out for his 13th place. Marion actually going to be a lap down. Cochran back up in 5th place. He's going to be looking to run down Barrow. As he's getting pretty close to it, Justin Harrison, the number 7, is going to be right behind him, and they're both getting pretty close. Barrow's only going to be, it looks like, 2 seconds ahead, and they're cutting it down pretty fast.
Fontaine might have a lucky streak here with the 3 of Dustin Haynes being a lap car in front of the leader of Barr.
Yeah, I see that. It definitely has saved them guys some time. Fontaine going down into the pits. Interesting decision. 19 laps to go. That's going to leave Jay Barr out front for a little bit longer. Barrow still in that 3rd spot for now. Cochran right up behind him, taking away 4th from Harris. Oh, Cochran out into the sand right there. That's going to give the number 7 the position back of 4th place to chase down Barrow for that 3rd position. Barrow out there in that new BDR paint job, debuting today, looking great. Barr still right there behind Haynes in the 3rd spot. Looks like he's now 10 seconds ahead of our 2nd place of Coonan, which Coonan and I believe Fontaine have pitted. Fontaine now coming out into 8th place. Interesting shakeup towards the end of this race, ladies and gentlemen. '85 slips around the 98 right there. He's able to get a couple spots back, but it does look like he dropped back from 10th after those pit stops. A little bit of damage on the 66 right there as he gets up and over that curb. Looks like we're riding around with Aaron Yancey and Justin Openchowski right behind him. They're going to be fighting for that 21st spot. Or actually, it looks like Aaron Yancey's going to be a lap behind Justin. Richard Elliott's going down into the pits. We're going to start to see a lot of these guys pitting now. Thomas Coonan looks like he's coming down. Something must have happened to Coonan, because if he's just now coming down into the pits, and he was 10 seconds behind our leader, something definitely happened.
I think a lot of these drivers are waiting for the moment they see Barr pitting. Then they will feel like they have a good shot at closing up that gap more and creating one with him, getting that lead.
Well, it's just looking like Barr is not in the business of pitting right now. We got Harris, Cochran, and Lons, plus Fontaine right there in that top 5. As we know, Fontaine has already pitted, so he's making his way back up front with a vengeance. Right now, Fontaine is going to be pretty far behind our leader. He's going to be 27 seconds back.
He might be trying to prove that your jinx is not working on him now.
I hope so. Prove me wrong. Don't make it because of me. It's not my fault. I'm sorry. I just wanted to talk to you.
We can blame Austin for that one.
All right, fair enough. I like that.
Hey.
Here we go. We got a drag strip raceway down here on the backstretch. 94 jumping over that curb of J Barr right there, passing that 17. Looks like 7 has now taken that second spot away. Shane Cochran in 3rd, Bryce Fontaine in 4th, Chad Ashley finishing out your top 5. Looks like we got a little bit of blinking back there. Hoonan trying to make his way back up into that top 5 after that contact with Fontaine on the restart. We only got 14 laps to go. Cochran is now up in 2nd place. J Barr in 1st. Harris in 3rd. Harris looks like he's coming down the pit lane now. Cochran, he's going to be fighting to keep that top position. I know it. As we've seen Barrow get shuffled back to 9th place after those pit stops. Hopefully he can be able to gain a couple more positions and get back out front. He's going to be back there with the 97 and Andrew Lons. They're going to be racing hard to try to get back up into the top 5 possibly. Barrow out into the dirt a little bit. He's going to slow down. Lons right behind him. Brom now down into the pit lane. So far, it looks like the only 2 people that have not pitted are going to be Shane Cochran and Jay Barr. You think Jay Barr, even if he does pit, he's just going to come in for a splash?
He very well could do that.
I would. I wouldn't. I'd just eat it. I'd just try to do it on the tires I got, because that still leaves Bryce Fontaine to catch up by 22 seconds. By the time he comes out of the pits, Bryce Fontaine will probably be 10 or 12 seconds behind him. It's going to be hard to catch him with only like 10 laps to go. So he could have a good chance of taking it home.
Also got Coonan back in P4, but he's about, looks like 14 seconds behind Fontaine.
Yeah, he's going to be 36 seconds behind our leader of J-Bar. Cochran now coming down into pit lane. J-Bar staying out. There's no way he's got enough, do you think?
We might have to have a little tire sniffer done to that, or a fuel sniffer. He might have some extra fuel hidden somewhere.
I'm telling you. He's got those 2-inch fuel lines like Smokey. A little bit of smoke coming off the number 4 right there, racing down the back front stretch with the 97, Andrew Lons. Barrow's going to go ahead and lose a position to Andrew. 41 out into the dirt sideways. It's going to be Brom. He's going to go ahead and get back out onto the track behind T. Osborne. Fontaine now 19 seconds behind our leader. Barr out here leading the whole second half of this so far. Leading the whole third stage. Good for him, man. Doing a great job of it.
Don't start jinxing Barr now.
No. It looks like Coonan had crashed. Let's go see what happened. Openchowski as well. Coonan gets sideways out onto the hairpin turn right there. Let's see what happened to Justin. Openchowski a little slow coming off that corner there. He's going to be riding out to the end of the line and cutting back in. Alright, it doesn't look like anything real happened there. He just did a good job of letting those guys by. Alright, let's go ahead and go back to live racing here. The question is, can Barr maintain? Looks like Fontaine is not gaining any time on Barr right now. It's going to be a problem with only 10 laps to go.
Especially when Fontaine has lap cars around him that could be holding him back from getting that lap time that he needs to start gaining that time.
Yeah, you could be right. He definitely had to make his way through a little bit of lap traffic back there with the 11. Oh, the 11 and the 3 right there in between them. He is able to get a little bit of open room and catch up a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. If Barr has enough gas to finish this race, it could be his to lose. Nine laps to go for your down and out 120 at Sonoma. Amazing race so far. A lot of competition. Looks like the 29 locking it up a little bit, allowing Andrew Lonzo, the 97, to get around. He's going to be trying to catch up to that 33 of Lynch. Caleb Ellswick looking to break back into the top 10 and pass Hanneman. Hanneman going to be in the 85 right in front of him. Not the best night for Hanneman, but it does look like he's running a great competition tonight. Looks like we're going to be riding along with Barrow here for a second. Barrow going to be in that 9th spot. He's going to be fighting with that 29. 29 going to be a little bit slower than him.
Believe it or not, the 94 of J Bar has pitted.
Barr coming down into the pit. He's got to only gas it up. Oh, Bryce Fontaine takes the lead. Thomas Coonan still 40 seconds back. So I don't think Barr's going to have a problem as far as Coonan catching up. But Fontaine is now 14 seconds ahead of our previous leader of the 94.
With that fast of a pit, it does seem he did not take tires and just fuel. That may have been a smart move for the top 3, but can he catch Fontaine with just that?
There's no way. Fontaine's got those newer tires. He's already losing it. But that's alright. Second place ain't nothing to shake a stick at here at Sonoma, man. Good job on Barr. But we're still not done here. Anything could happen at Sonoma. .48 and 71 going to be battling it out back there. 48 going to be a lap down. 71 going to be looking to take that pass of the lap traffic. He goes off track as well as the 11 back there. They're going to be coming back on track now. 48 and the 11 are going to battle it out. Gallman looking to catch back up to those guys. Ride along with the 94 for a minute and see what he's got going on in the cockpit. He's got about 6 laps to go on those old tires. Does look like that Coonan is going to be catching him a little bit as well. Barr going to be right up there behind Jay Marion in that 11. Let's go ahead and ride along with Coonan for a moment, see what he's got going on. Ooh, getting loose right there. He's going to be trying to gain as much time on Barr as possible to take that second spot away. I don't know if it's going to be enough with only 6 to go.
Well, you know, road courses, and the trucks definitely proved it on a Tuesday night. Road courses, anything can happen within any kind of lap.
Yeah, I mean, it only takes one corner for somebody to just dump themselves. I've done it to myself a few times on road courses, and it's, you know, it's you getting in your head too much and just not being consistent. As we ride along with Cochran trying to catch up to that 23 to make a pass for 3rd place. Like I said, the 86 Cochran coming out of nowhere, man. He's going to be right up there with these guys. Ooh, almost getting loose right there. You can hear those tires on Cochran's car. He's going to be fighting that rubber. 23 going out wide. 94 still able to maintain a good distance on Coonan, but now he is going to be 21 seconds behind Fontaine. 33 Lynch is going to be in that 7th spot, trying to run down Justin Harris in that 7th position. But he's also going to be 17 seconds behind him. Andrew Lons and Lynch fighting it out back there. Four laps to go. Coonan trying to save his spot. Looks like a lap car. Cheshire is going to be right behind him. A little bit of smoke on the track right there when Lynch passed by. I wonder if somebody locked him up. Oh, the 11 bumping the 3 out of the way. Things are getting ruthless out there. Seven trying to run down the 31 of William Kern. Justin Harris with an amazing run tonight in that number 7, making his way to the front a couple times. He's going to be trying to take that spot away from that 31. William Kern is going to be right behind him. Coonan trying to battle it out. Cochran only 1.5 seconds behind. Eleven off the track outside of the 23 right there. Haynes coming up behind him. Oh, 11 jumps that curb. Lucky he didn't lose it right there. 23 gonna have to avoid that. Cochran trying to fight back to Coonan. He's going to be right up on his bumper right there. But the 11 of Marion is going to be right in the middle of the 2. It's going to prove difficult. Looks like he got around Marion. Oh, and we had a lock up with the 7. Huge accident with William Kern in the 7. Justin Harris just smashing that inside. Looks like the 7 was right up on the back of the 31. Looking on the inside. Coming down into that hairpin turn. Oh, he just got down to the bottom of him. And jeez, man. That is a heck of an accident that left Kern on top of his hood. Not what you wanted to see for Kern tonight. He had a good run. Fast car. That really sucks to see that for him.
Looks like we're coming up on white flag.
As the 7 elects to stay out on that, Fontaine is going to be pushing hard to try to finish this race. Jay Barr trying to push just to keep that 2nd spot, but he is able to gain 2 more seconds on Coonan. So it looks like he may be able to hold on to it. This will be their first podium for Racers for Christ this season, I believe. Looks like nobody new will be punching their ticket tonight. Final lap is out. Bryce Fontaine one more time around. He's going to be catching up to Ellswick. That'll put Ellswick one lap down. Ellswick's currently in that 9th position. Ellswick able to maintain, but Bryce Fontaine comes around for the last time across the finish line. We have a winner. Bryce Fontaine in the number 12, coming back from an amazing deficit, going ahead and getting in front of Jay Barr after that Barr pit stop, and was able to take it home here at Sonoma for the Down and Out 120. Thank you all for being here. We'll be right back with your driver interviews. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our podium winners out here for Sonoma. The number 12 taking it home for an exciting race here for the Down and Out 120. Amazing job. This will be your 3rd win this season. Got to be exciting going into the playoffs with this many points and just setting yourself up for success. What's going through your mind tonight for race 5?
What's going through my mind is I'm an absolute idiot for wearing a hoodie tonight. I am literally sweating more than I've ever sweat in my entire life, I feel like. But apart from that, man, Sonoma's one of my favorite tracks on the NASCAR schedule. I remember as a kid growing up on all the old NASCAR games on the consoles, I would just run full-length races here, and I just love it, man. There was a lot of fast guys out there, and I was saying it there in voice chat. Again, apologies to anybody that got caught up in the incident there at the beginning of the first stage, or the second stage, or I guess technically the beginning of the 3rd stage. Holy English is hard. But no, man, like I said, I love this track, and I feel good, man. I'm really excited to get the win. It was very stressful, and some guys definitely put the pressure on me and made it a little bit more difficult. That is for sure.
Well, did you have any concern at all that Barr was going to be able to make it on that fuel he had, or that even if he did a quick fuel stop, that you were going to be able to catch him?
No, I wasn't worried about him making it at all. I was looking at the overlay, and I saw that he had pit like 10 laps before me, and I had the same strategy in a league race a couple weeks ago here, and I knew it was going to work out for me. But you know, one of two things was going to happen. He had to pit, which was about a 99% confirmation in my head. But if he didn't, I was looking at the relative. I was gaining anywhere between like 2 to 2.5 seconds on him a lap. So it may have gotten a little bit close, but I just, kept my head down and was running my line and was hoping I could get to him. And luckily he dove down pit road. And I knew at that point it was just, like I said at the end of stage 2, it was just about getting the car home in one piece. And we had a couple moments where that almost didn't happen, but nonetheless, we ended up coming away with it. So I will take it.
Nah, you definitely killed it. And again, coming out of the interview right after the restart, turning it around, dropping you and Coonan all the way back to probably 12th place almost, and coming back from that and coming out to a win, man. Amazing feat. Great job.
Yeah, I'm just really glad that we were both able to bounce back. It looks like Coonan made it on the podium. So I'm like I said, I would hate for things to have gone down that way. So I'm really glad that he was able to bounce back as well. And obviously that was not the plan at the beginning of the third stage, but it happened. And again, luckily it didn't. I don't think it ended anybody's night. So just got to give a huge shout out to everybody that puts this on, man. All you guys, the admins, the all the directors and everybody that makes it happen, all the guys out on track as well. I think we had a few incidents tonight. I know I was involved in a couple of them, but it looks like for the most part everybody did what they needed to do. So shout out to everybody on track, and huge shout out to whoever put this track on the schedule. I want to give them a hug, and then of course just shout out to the wife for allowing me to spend all the time on here that I do. All the guys over at EternalRacing.com for all their support, as well as Triple Stint Racing Gloves and iStats for hopping on the car.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming out here and taking home another one. Third for the season for Bryce Fontaine. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, guys, we'll go ahead and move on to our second place driver. First time on the podium this season, Jay Barr coming out and putting on a great performance, almost taking it home here at Sonoma. Great job, man. What's going through your mind for race 5?
I thought I had the perfect strat because I was going to pit early like he did but then I got the lead. So I was like, well, that just blew that out of the water. So I was going to run it to the end, short, take like 3.5 gallons of fuel and mosey on to the end because they was like 9 seconds behind. They stayed constant. But Fontaine killed my lap time, so.
Nah, and again, right after that incident with Fontaine and Coonan, gave you the advantage to go out there and lead a whole bunch of laps for your team, a bunch of extra points for you guys here tonight, and taking home a second place at Sonoma is nothing to shake your head at. So congratulations, it's an amazing job out here of putting down a lot of effort.
Yeah, I was going to settle for like 5th or 6th, but I'm more than happy to take home second. So.
No, yeah, definitely. Good job, man. And we look forward to seeing you up here again during the season.
All right, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's race?
Wife and kids for letting me race. RFC for bringing me on. You guys for putting on the series and show. So.
Awesome. Well, and again, GEC veteran coming out. You've been here for multiple seasons, just doing a great job out here as a driver, man. And your career here has been amazing, and we look forward to seeing the rest of it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, racing against these guys that are way better than me has definitely improved. Like, I've improved. So I'm happy to do it.
That's exactly what it's all about, man. Thank you for coming out, and great job.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Last but not least, we move on to Thomas Coonan, getting into a little bit of contact with Fontaine out there after that spin, able to make his way from the back up to the front, taking home a podium here at Sonoma. Thomas, great job out there, man. It sort of was looking like you were rounding out around a third place finish anyway if Brown would have been able to stay out there, but just taking it back from that incident in the beginning of Stage 3, how do you feel and what's going through your mind?
Honestly, I've always felt like Sonoma is my weakest track in terms of the Cup cars, and I've always struggled at this particular road course. I always felt like I would always be better and possibly contending for wins at like Watkins Glen and the Rovals out there. But definitely, I was just looking to finish tonight with a solid finish. Nothing too fancy. It was great racing my teammate there on the final lap there for the final podium position. But on that restart, I think we both got kind of loose coming into that corner. My car didn't feel like we got any contact. It just was. He collected me. I was also loose when he collected me. It was just kind of a cluster mess up there. So I'm not going to blame him for that sort of thing. It's just that corner entry was just really loose for some reason, and it caught like a bunch of people else too.
Well, either way, great job by the both of you recovering and finding a way to get back out front from having a huge deficit like that. Great job, man. And obviously coming up from the truck series, winning a few races down there, coming up in the Cup Series, immediately winning a few races. Spotlight, really, really shining on Coonan this season to see what you're capable of. And if this is it, we're in for a treat, because we look forward to seeing you out in the checkered flag as well here soon.
Absolutely, thank you.
Absolutely. Anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's race?
First and foremost, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Pit Pass Network, Rev Limit Workshop, and MIC Business and Consulting, as my primary sponsors for a lot of these races, as they help me out with financials and stuff like that to make sure I can get through college, as well as make sure I can come out here and compete on a very competitive level like I do every week. But I also like to thank my friends and family at home who watch and support me through all my endeavors, as well as I like to shout out my teammate who Cochran absolutely came in and absolutely put up a good result there at the end. And I'm really happy with my Racing Edge teammates. I would also like to congratulate Bryce Fontaine on the win tonight. He definitely deserved it, as well as thank you guys for putting up these races, broadcasts, and stuff like that.
Awesome. Well, good job out there. And like I said, we look forward to seeing what you got for the rest of the Cup Series. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be it here for the Down and Out 120. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.